A-R. You open the door.
Yes, you open the door. Oh, it already smells nice and cool. Oh, already feels good and cool. Good and cool.
I don't have much texture. Not even easy. Oh, water. I'm so thirsty. I was drinking all that water from the well.
You're in a tunnel.
Okay, y'all move up a little bit. You can come around this rock just a little bit so that people can all get in here. Okay, this is just a little bit of a preview room to give you an idea of some of the things that you might be seeing. You did notice a slight change in the temperature when you walked in,
Yeah,
right?
it feels good.
It is 54 degrees in here, stays 54 degrees year round, doesn't matter what the outside temperature is. 54 is the average temperature of Ohio. Limestone is the kind of rock that will hold in that temperature all the time. Now I just went blank.
It was fire.
Okay, and as I said, water will come through. As it comes through, it will drip on you. I can guarantee you'll be dripped on before you get out of here today. You will know when you get dripped on because it's also 4 degrees. So we call them cave kisses. They're good for when you have good luck. Perfectly safe water. It's filtered. You can drink it. Probably safer than what comes out of your taps at home. When the water comes through, it brings different minerals with it. One of the minerals is manganese dioxide. Manganese is not that well known above ground, but down here it gives us our blacks and our blues and our purples. Another mineral is iron oxide. Does anyone know what iron oxide is?
Rust.
Rust. We don't like rust too much above ground, but we love it down here. It gives us our oranges, our reds, and our yellows. It also gives us some formations that you'll see along the way. There's no wind or rain down here, so there's nothing to knock it down, so it just grows at will. You'll see several rust formations. The third mineral gives us all our whites, the frosting from the ceiling, some formations that are growing. That is calcium carbonate of limestone, or shortened calcite. Calcite is very common above ground. Any of you ever had a glazed donut?
Yes.
A granola bar? Sugared cereal? You've eaten calcite. Did y'all brush your teeth this morning? Don't see many hands raised. You use calcite. If you've ever had a tummy ache and you take an antacid, like a Tums, you've eaten calcite. And if any of your kids have ever played with chalk, like sidewalk chalk, you've used calcite. Very, very common. As it comes through with the water, the calcite adheres to the ceiling. The water evaporates. As more water starts to come through, it starts to grow. As it's growing downward from the ceiling, like these are, this is what they're called. Yes? No. Stalactites. And that's stalactite with a C. We say, remember that? The C like the ceiling, and it hangs tight to the ceiling. As it drifts downward, one starts to go up towards it. That is a stalagmite, and that's a G. G for ground, and it might go to the ceiling someday. Eventually they do come together, and when that happens, this is what we call them. Think about what we call them.
Column.
Column, that's what we call them. They're also called pillars, but I don't have anything choosy for pillars. So we say they're columns. You will see some columns up to 5 feet in length today before you leave. As I said, it takes a very long time for these to grow. One of the reasons why we don't want you touching anything, we're not trying to be mean, but you think, oh, that's just a big old hunk of rock. This is an active cavern. Things are constantly growing. You just can't see them when they start. So if you put your hand on that rock like that, the natural oils from your skin go to the rock, similar to like when you put your hand on a mirror, you raise it, you've left a handprint, you do the same thing to the rock. It takes this cavern 50 to 100 years to erase that oil. So that would be like me putting my hand on his head and saying he's not going to grow for another 50 years. You wouldn't like that, would you? No. It takes 500 to 1,000 years to grow along the size of an ice cube. So this little guy in the center here is estimated to be about 3,000 to 4,000 years old. And he's just a baby. So that's a lot of information right off. Do you have any questions? Okay, would you be interested in seeing the natural state of the cavern? You know what I mean? What's not natural? The light. If you have anything that puts out light, like a phone or a flashlight, just turn them off temporarily. If you're next to somebody you don't trust, move away from them. Stay to your left. Then you will take a turn and go to our lowest ceiling area, which is only about 5, 6. So if you're taller than that, be prepared to duck. If you can walk through without ducking, you are considered a natural cave person. Yeah.
I'm 4.
Up ahead, we do have a middle. I don't know who it is, so I can't give you a name. When he asks or she asks to cut into the middle of the group, just let her do so wherever, okay? There's 3 things that I want you to look for as we walk through. And that's why I have a middle, because if you have any questions, you will not be able to hear my voice very well up here, so it will help.
We are soon.
The first thing is what we call the natural bridge. The natural bridge is where when the farmers were digging the mud out of the stocking pads, they came across some formations growing, did not want to break them off, so they just dug underneath them. That will show you how high the mud was back here. The second thing is what we call the Crystal Sea. The Crystal Sea is a man-made reservoir. It was built to catch the water dripping because this is the wettest part of the cavern. If they didn't have something to catch the water would be constantly running down the pathway that we're walking on. The third is a cement block wall. Are you excited by that? That's where they dug an elevator shaft, had a horse-drawn pulley to help the farmers get the mud out of here. That way they didn't have to cart it all the way back to the entrance. Once they got the mud cleared out, they filled in the hole and built the wall. And even though it's man-made, we still ask that you not touch because there is crystal growing on that wall at this time. That will also mark where we will be 67 feet below ground.
We're going, Jason.
I'll go ahead. I'll wait here.
We're walking through the cave. Yes, we're going smiling. Walk through the cave. Walk through the cave. Yeah, you are. You're under. Look at what you're under. Look at the cement. Look, it's crystals on the cement. See?
Right here we have the natural bridge. It shows the original level of the mud that was in the cavern before the farmers dug it out. And I think it makes for a great picture.
Oh my goodness, it's like a flood. No, we're not going to be moving it. It's all flooded.
It's outside.
Yeah, we're going to.
We've got 97 years worth of crystal growth. Mark your calendars. If you come back in about 1,000 years, you might see a total crystal wall.
How would you still be alive?
So I have a little boy say he's going to ask God for a day pass.
Crystals are growing. Pretty.
Okay, as you come around this corner, please watch your head. We have a freestanding column here that the farmer again did not want to break off, so they just dug underneath him. He's just hanging here waiting for somebody to call to come around and knock on his head and bump your head. Believe me, it will hurt you, not you. So just be careful, you have it all at once.
All that thing over there.
Daddy, that hole is deep. I saw this person just jump behind me, and
and started to start taking pictures. So maybe that hoarded them.
I remember the thumb on cutting the edges on hands to try to imagine how many balls you can fit into something and multiply that by 1,000. That will give you a general idea.
Yes, somewhere. Well, we're all here but two.
I'm going too fast for that. Please let me know. I can slow down.
Oh, no, you're fine. Okay, we're all here.
Okay, at this point, we are halfway through. Do you feel like you just walked a half a mile? See, I told you you wouldn't even notice. We are 90 feet below ground. Up here we have what we call our caveman's bed or caveman's couch. I know y'all back there can't see it, but you will as you walk past. There were never any cavemen down here. It's just a cute name we gave it. We also know that even though there were Native American tribes above ground, particularly the Mingo tribe, they were not down here either. We know that by the rock that's coming out about head height. You'll see that all through the cavern. That is called chert rock. Chert rock is in the same family as flint. You can light fires with it. You can build towers with it. Had the Native Americans known it was down here, we would not be looking at it today. That would have been so very valuable to them, they would have come to mind it all out. So we know, because we're still looking at it, that they were not aware of it. They were not now, up ahead, you are going to see the largest stalactite in the state of Ohio. We call him the Crystal King. He is 4 feet, 10.5 inches long. He is estimated to weigh 400 pounds, and in our time as we know it today, would be considered about 200,000 years old. You will see two views of him, one from a distance and one right up close. So bear that in mind when you're taking pictures. You will not remember those pictures I just gave you, but you will remember he looks like a giant white carrot.
We're gonna start walking. What?
Did you see that ginormous crystal?
Yeah, look at this one.
It's Arctic. I got this the carrot farm. Look at all the carrots. The carrots. Oh, look at the carrots.
Jason, no touching.
Okay, everybody, we have just got our first rooms down here. We
we're
call
talking.
this Fantasy Land. If you have a really good imagination, you can see all kinds of things in the formations that are growing. very similar to saltwater. One of the things you will see in this room are the slender straw-like formations coming from the ceiling. Those are called soda straws. Soda straws have an empty center just like a regular soda straw, so the water, instead of coming on the outside, making it get bigger and bigger, just drips through the center. But sometimes those get clogged, and when that happens, they start going in different directions. We have one guy back there that decided to defy gravity and start going back up to the ceiling. We have some back here behind me that you will notice if you come forward that look like worms on fish hooks, music notes. One little boy said Cheetos. So again, your imagination. Those are called stalactites. Stalactites are not as common, but we are lucky to have several down here. And our favorite one is right here. We call it the Old Town Pump. Just needs a handle. And I know you all back there can't see what I'm pointing at, so Abby has made her way up to the front of the group here. She's going to shine her light on it. Please don't try to touch, just look at where she's pointing so we don't break it. And for those of you who are familiar with the narwhal, we have our up ahead to your left, you will see the close-up of the crystal king. Then you will go forward and turn to the right, and you'll get a slight dip in the floor. At that point, you will be 103 feet below ground. Enjoy it while you can, because in just a few steps, you're going back up.
You see it?
Go deeper.
You see the icic growing from the ceiling?
Go!
Yeah, let's go down the bone.
When the tall people can come over here, the very light is doing also takes it there. Watch your head.
Oh, yes. We call it the Old Town. They look at the large fish.
Okay, yes, she gave it a specific.
These formations are called
No, I think I'm just barely.
Yeah, you're going upstairs. You're going upstairs.
Dad, go back here. Yeah, go back here.
Worry about Jason's stairs.
Oh God, this is steep. I'm about to fall back. Imagine a long time ago when there was no stairs. That would be hard to try to get up there.
We get it right.
Yes.
Yeah, let him see.
Okay, we are now in our second room. This is our largest room, being a half acre of
My
ceiling
candle.
other than the wall
Alright, 1
on
minute.
each side. I get some looks of concern when I say that. We did have an earthquake that went through Ohio in the 80s. It shook everything in the gift shop. Things were falling off the shelves. The managers grabbed first aid kits and ran down here not knowing what they were going to find. We had about 91 people down here that day. Nobody down here even knew anything had happened. Limestone is a great shock absorber, so it was taking in all the shock waves. It would take an earthquake on a scale of 8 to 10 to even make anything move down here. So it's probably one of the safest places you can be in any natural disaster. Great tornado shelter. You can fall back on it and serve them food. Yeah. This is also Mr. Arnold's right here. We have one back there behind it. They are 5 feet in length. And our newest forming is right here. You can see a slight gap in between the two of them. There's a slight part in between there. If you want to see that come together, come back in about 40 or 50 years.
Orange.
I will not be your guide. So any questions so far? Now, we are not very creative people, this being our largest room. What do you think we call it?
Large room.
Close. It's a big room.
We're gonna walk again, Minnie.
Now, if I can ask everybody to do me a big favor and everybody just take a step to the right. Abby has to make her way up into the front. Thank you, everybody. And when you come up this way, take a look to your right. Down below, you will see the entrance to another part of the cave. We call it the wild cave. It is tall only. There are no lights down there.
This is a cave.
There is no exit, so however far you get back, you can come back out. It can take anywhere from 3 to 6 hours to do it. We do not open it to the public. That if you were ever interested in doing it, all you have to do is get an employment application for $2,000. And also up here to your right, you will see the stalagmite right next to the pathway. It has a dirty grayish brown top to it. I want you to check it out as you go by, and then we'll talk about how it got that way.
How's that? Right there, get out. Right there.
There's fog in there.
I got this big one. So big. Big crystal.
Yeah, this is 100% comfortable.
No, we don't. You're still in the cave. Please look up.
Not the only ones that will argue with
There
me
are
about the or creation is. And I just try to explain to them that where we think you're playing is not the same way they think you're playing. Okay, this is our third room. We call it the Palace of the Gods. You will see everything in this room that you've seen all throughout the caverns, all the formations, all the colors. You will see an additional formation up here where you see rust growing and then you see calcite attached to it. I'm not sure how that works because rust is extremely fragile. If you put your hand up against it, it would crumble into dust. Calcite is solid rock, so it's very, very heavy. There is supposition that there is calcite growing underneath the rust that's holding on to the other calcite, but it must be broke one way to definitely know. Those are called dual formations, and we are the only known commercial cavern in the United States to have them.
It's a cavern.
Alright, you're gonna walk. We're walking. Let's go walk.
It's a
We are in our fourth and final room, and y'all back there are not going to be able to fit in, so you'll have to wait to get up here to see what I'm talking about.
This will be cool.
This is what we call our jewel room. There are no jewels in this room. No diamonds, sapphires, rubies, nothing like that. We just think the colors are really beautiful. got upstairs. If you look to your left, you will see all yellows, and reds, like the sun is rising. And as it crosses over to the other side, it's all blues and lots of purples, like the sun is setting. Beautiful Ohio is actually written from the Ohio River. We have played it after every tour since 1928, so you're now part of that tradition. We just think that even though we're underground, we are in one of the most beautiful parts of Ohio. It did not become a state song until 1969, so we had it first. So if you have no questions, I want to thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed your tour. I hope you come back again sometime. As you come forward, you have twists and turns, and you have 6 steps to climb to get out, so you take your time to get careful. And again, thank you.
Look up, we're gonna start walking, ready?
That's how we know we didn't gas.
What?